It is always a good time to think about how to simplify life, and I just want to use a couple of things out of the Bible to talk about how to do that. And the first one is from the book of 1 Kings, chapter 2, where Solomon is taking over the kingdom from his father David, and his father tells him that there are certain people in the kingdom that are bringing trouble, and so therefore they need to be done away with. So Solomon then proceeds to kind of take some time to let things kind of gel to the right moment, and he actually does end up getting rid of a few people. So as you're reading it, you're kind of like, wow, but then when you think about it, in order to have peace in the kingdom, this was necessary. A few people had to go. If we kind of bring decisiveness to our to-do list, to our general routine, the things that we have begun habitually throwing in there and making ourselves busy with, sometimes sacrificing everything from our relationships to our sleep, taking the time to really look at that and be decisive about what stays and what goes. So the other Bible story that I want to reference is the one that we're most familiar with about Martha and Mary, and just looking at it from the perspective that Jesus redirected Martha to understanding how important it was that Mary was to sit there and just listen to God. And something that we can take from that also is that Martha may want to rethink the menu next time so that she can have time to sit at the feet of Christ as well. And we can think about that as we get ready for gatherings, and think about how can we be sure that we're going to be able to actually attend to our guests, that we're actually going to be able to spend time with them and listen to them and love them and have beautiful memories afterwards instead of being completely harried. And bringing it all together, for the most important thing of all is that if we think of ourselves as the kingdom of God, our internal tabernacles, we want to keep peace here. What do we want to keep out in order to keep things simple, in order to be able to have time and space so that God is within us always, so that we are always attentive to His presence. We are always at the feet of Christ, listening to what He is guiding us to do. Relationship with God is really allowing Him to love us. This is a receptive activity. This is not something where we are taking the time to really stop and say, if something really urgent was going on in the world right now in my family emergency or something, everything would stop. Absolutely everything would stop. So it's not that things aren't important, but as they say, it's all small stuff. And if we're crowding our relationship with God out of our day, we really have to flip it. And our relationship with God requires a certain amount of time where we have quiet and we are able to listen to what He has to say, meditate on His word, whatever it is, but very simply and quietly. We don't have to read 14 chapters in the Bible. We can read one sentence out of the Bible in order to begin our meditation. So keeping it very, very, very simple. And meditate upon Him and allow Him to speak to us. So that requires quiet. All alone, just with Him. That's the best possible way, if we can possibly find it. When my children were little, the closest I could get to quiet time with God, but it was crucial, and it helped me so much, was that at a certain time of day, my children liked to watch a show called Little Bear on TV, and it was a very quiet, peaceful little cartoon that my children loved. And while they were wrapped in looking at that, I would sit with them and I would read to myself a scriptural rosary. For each bead, you're getting a little bit of something out of the Bible. And so I was able to get my rosary prayed and a little meditative time during that half an hour. So that was pretty wonderful. So I hope that you can find ways to have that time to just be with God and find ways to simplify your life and squeeze in, if you have to, that time to just be quiet with God and His Word and His love. All right, so without further ado, have a wonderful day.